He thought she was just a maid, someone paid to stay silent, sweep his marble floors, and stay out of sight. But when she accidentally spilled wine on his $4,000 custom-tailored suit during a business gala, he didn't just humiliate her, he slapped her, on live television, in front of Korea's most powerful families. What he didn't know, she wasn't just a maid, she was the only daughter of his father's deadliest rival. And she had come back for one reason, revenge. The rooftop gala at Han Group Tower sparkled with luxury, crystal chandeliers, champagne towers, violinists playing Mozart under the Seoul skyline. CEO Han Ji-woon stood tall in his navy suit, glass in hand, smiling for the cameras. Korea's youngest billionaire, dubbed the Ice Prince, for his stone-cold charm and zero tolerance for mistakes. Across the room, Zuri Ayana, a 23-year-old African international student turned part-time maid, nervously clutched a silver tray of wineglasses. She was quiet, reserved, invisible, just the way Ji-woon liked his staff. But fate didn't stay quiet for long. As Zuri passed behind him, a businessman bumped her shoulder, hard. The tray tilted, a full glass of red wine splashed down the back of Ji-woon's silk blazer. The music stopped, cameras turned, whispers erupted. Zuri gasped, trembling, trying to apologize. "I am so sorry, sir, But Ji-woon didn't let her finish. He turned, raised his hand, and struck her across the cheek. "Are you blind or just stupid?" he snapped. "You think you can ruin a suit worth more than your life?" Gasps from the crowd, phones up, live streams rolling, her tear-filled eyes met his. "I'll remember this," she said. Quiet, calm, dangerous. The next day, the slap was all over the news. Hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag Slapgate. Hashtag Han Ji-woon exposed. Hashtag Maid slap scandal. But while the media debated if he should be cancelled, Zuri was busy flying to London, where her true identity was hidden in a safety deposit box. Inside, her birth certificate, a DNA test, 49% shares in Han Group's biggest rival company, once owned by her late father. "You want to slap someone, Ji-woon?" she whispered as her private jet ascended. "Then get ready, because I'm about to slap you with a takeover." He thought he'd never see her again. He thought a slap would erase her. But 3 weeks later, when he walked into the boardroom for an emergency shareholders meeting, there she was, dressed in white, sitting at the head of the table. She didn't bow, she didn't blink, she simply said, "Good morning, Mr. Han. You may sit." And just like that, the man who humiliated her, now worked under her. 3 weeks after the scandal, Han Ji-woon was back in control, or so he thought. The PR team scrubbed the footage, paid off bloggers, and Ji-woon even issued a cold, robotic apology online. "It was unfortunate. The incident has been handled. We've compensated the worker. Let's move forward." But the internet doesn't forget. And neither did Zuri Ayana. While Ji-woon was busy preparing for the global tech merger summit, Zuri had been pulling strings behind the scenes. She used her inherited trust fund from her late father, Kweku Ayana, the Ghanaian-born co-founder of Korea's second-largest AI conglomerate, to buy up 49% of Han Group through a London holding company. Ji-woon didn't even see it coming. The bomb dropped at 9 a.m. on a Monday. Han Group's stock had plummeted due to the PR scandal, and Ji-woon called for an emergency meeting to stabilize investors. He walked into the boardroom, confident, annoyed, and half listening to his assistant. Until he saw her, Zuri, seated at the head of the 30-foot marble table in a snow-white power suit, legs crossed, eyes sharp, a diamond-encrusted watch glittering on her wrist. The room fell silent. Ji-woon froze. "What is she doing here?" he growled. Board member Mr. Kim cleared his throat nervously. "Mr. Han, Miss Zuri Ayana is now your largest shareholder. Her company, Ayana Global Holdings, acquired the 49% stake over the past 2 weeks." Ji-woon blinked. "That's impossible. She's a maid?" Zuri finished with a cold smile. "Ex-maid, and I prefer the title, acting chairwoman." The next 30 minutes were chaos. Ji-woon demanded an audit, threatened to fire the CFO, insisted it was illegal, but every paper was in order, every transaction clean, every vote in her favor. And worst of all, the board was now more loyal to her than him. Later, in the hallway, he cornered her. "This is revenge, isn't it?" She leaned in, calm and collected. "No, this is justice. You humiliated a woman who did nothing but serve you. Now you're going to learn what it feels like to serve someone else." He looked down at her, angry, cornered, and oddly intrigued. For the first time in his life, someone stood up to him and won. And a twisted thought formed in his mind. I'm going to destroy her. Or fall in love with her trying. He'd crushed empires with a handshake. Broken competitors with a glance. So how hard could it be to seduce the woman who now controlled his company? But as Han Ji-woon launched his charm offensive, private dinners, rooftop gifts, whispered compliments, something started happening that terrified him. He wasn't acting anymore, and worse, neither was she. 2 weeks into Zuri's reign as the acting chairwoman of Han Group, things had changed drastically. Employees were smiling again, the janitorial staff got full benefits, and the infamous silent floor, where no one dared speak without permission, had been replaced with collaborative lounges. Zuri was becoming a quiet legend. Meanwhile, Ji-woon was seething. His title meant nothing without control. His employees no longer feared him, and worst of all, she wasn't folding. So he did what he did best, manipulate. He started small, holding open doors, pretending to apologize, offering coffee during long board meetings. Then came the charm. A bouquet of Zuri's favorite hibiscus flowers from Ghana, delivered with a handwritten note. A peace offering. Let's talk, rooftop at 8. Zuri didn't smile, but she showed up. The rooftop was quiet, the Seoul skyline glittered like stars had rained down on the earth. Ji-woon waited in a black turtleneck, sleeves rolled, no bodyguards. He poured her a glass of wine, hands steady. I was wrong, he said. You didn't deserve that slap. I thought you were someone else. But now, I see who you really are. Zuri studied him, unreadable. Do you really? Or is this just damage control? He smiled slowly. Does it matter if I'm starting to like the damage? She didn't answer, but she didn't leave either. The tension between them was like fire trapped under glass, hot, dangerous, and one spark away from shattering everything. Over the next few days, he escalated. Sent her a limited edition book by her father's favorite philosopher. Had the kitchen team prepare traditional Ghanaian jollof rice for her lunch. Even, accidentally, showed up at the charity gala she was hosting. Zuri knew what he was doing, but her heart was betraying her. Because behind the CEO mask, she started seeing cracks. A man who worked 16-hour days but slept 3 hours a night. A boy raised by nannies, trained by wolves, never taught love. And those eyes, angry, cold, but occasionally, so deeply lonely. And that's when everything got complicated. One night, after another, coincidental, dinner, Ji-woon walked her to the elevator. He leaned in, just inches away. Tell me to stop, and I will, he whispered. Zuri's heart thundered. You're just trying to control me, she replied softly. He smiled. Maybe, or maybe I'm already under yours. Their lips were just about to touch, when the elevator dinged open. And standing there was his ex-fiancée, the ruthless heiress of Korea's largest media conglomerate. Wow, she smirked. So this is your new charity project? Zuri's blood ran cold. Ji-woon's jaw clenched, but the damage was done. Tomorrow's headlines were already writing themselves. The media called her a gold digger. His ex called her a parasite. And Ji-woon? He said nothing. Zuri stood alone as the world chewed her up and spat her out. She thought the slap was the worst thing that could happen. She was wrong, because betrayal cuts deeper when it comes from someone you've started to trust. The photos hit the gossip blogs before midnight. Zuri and Ji-woon, standing inches apart, her eyes closed, his hand brushing her cheek. A moment before the kiss that never happened. The headline? From maid to mistress. Ji-woon's dirty little secret exposed. K-Star Confidential. By sunrise, the story had gone international. TikTok videos reenacted the slap. Instagram reels showed Zuri's transformation from janitor to CEO hunter. And YouTube thumbnails called her the African schemer who trapped Korea's ice prince. The backlash was brutal. Han Group's stock plummeted 9% overnight. Investors panicked. And Ji-woon? He said nothing publicly. Privately, he was furious, but not at her. At himself. He hadn't protected her. He hadn't stepped in. He'd frozen, afraid of losing the empire his father built. Zuri, meanwhile, was dragged through a digital hell. She's just another foreigner using a sob story. Gold digger from Africa. Why do they always fall for our men? This is what happens when maids think they're queens. Then came the board meeting. Ji-woon walked in, cold as ever. Zuri stood at the end of the table. They want me to step down, she said. What do you want? He hesitated, looked at the shareholders, and whispered. Maybe it's for the best. That moment, it broke something in her. Not just her heart, but her faith in him. She left that same day. No press conference, no tears, just silence. But behind that silence, She was plotting something far more powerful. Because Zuri still owned 49% of Han Group. And there were other ways to fight. 2 weeks later, Ji-woon was alone in his penthouse, reading hate mail from former partners, sipping whiskey at 4 a.m., when the TV suddenly glitched and switched channels to a live stream. It was Zuri, standing in a black power suit, flanked by 2 international lawyers. "Tonight," she said calmly, "I'm launching a hostile takeover of the company I helped save." He thought he'd lost control when she became his boss. He thought he was humiliated when she bought 49% of his company. But this was war, live on national TV. The woman he slapped, seduced, and betrayed just announced a hostile takeover. And the whole world tuned in to watch the Maid destroy the CEO. Zuri's face glowed across every screen in Korea. "As of tonight, I've partnered with Han Group's top rival, Orion Technologies. Together, we now hold 71% voting power. We will be requesting the resignation of CEO Han Ji-woon effective immediately." Reporters exploded with questions. "Zuri SSI, is this personal? Is this revenge for the slap? Did you ever love him?" She didn't blink. "This is business," she replied. "And he made it personal the day he treated a woman like trash on camera." Meanwhile, at Han Group headquarters, Ji-woon stood frozen in front of a screen. His board members, the same ones who once bowed to him, now avoided eye contact. His assistant whispered, "Sir, we're being outvoted." "No," he snapped, "not like this." But in the deepest part of him, he knew. He'd lost the company. He'd lost the war. And worst of all, he'd lost her. That night, he didn't go home. He showed up at Zuri's private office. No bodyguards, no PR team, just a broken man in a drenched suit. She looked up from her laptop, shocked. "What are you doing here?" she asked, voice low. "I came to say thank you," he said. "Thank me?" Zuri raised a brow. "Yeah," he nodded. "For ruining me. For showing me what it feels like to lose. And for making me realize I never hated you. I hated how much I wanted you." Zuri looked at him, heart pounding. "You want my forgiveness now? After all that?" He stepped closer. "No, I want your partnership, not just in business, but in life." She turned away. "I can't trust you. Then let me earn it back." And just like that, she did the unthinkable. She paused the takeover, issued a challenge instead. "You have 1 week. Convince the board, convince me, and prove you're worthy of this company, and me." The countdown had begun, and this time, Ji-woon wasn't fighting to win. He was fighting not to lose her again. He had 7 days. 7 days to win back the woman he slapped, betrayed, and nearly destroyed. But just as Ji-woon pulled off the impossible, earning back her trust and saving the company, Zuri dropped a secret she'd been hiding from the very beginning. And it was bigger than the slap. Bigger than the takeover. She wasn't sent to clean his floors. She was sent to clean out his entire bloodline. Ji-woon did what no one believed he could. He humbled himself. He restructured the board, giving women and foreign staff more power. He held a public press conference, no lawyers, no PR script, and apologized to Zuri by name, owning every wrong he'd done. And most shocking of all? He took off his title. "Effective today," he said into the mic, "I'm no longer CEO of Han Group. I will serve under Chairwoman Ayana, if she'll let me." It went viral overnight. Hashtag Ji-woon kneels. Hashtag CEO no more. Hashtag real men repent. Zuri watched from her office. And for the first time in a long time, she smiled. A week later, she invited him to a quiet park in the hills outside Seoul. No cameras, no bodyguards, just the 2 of them, seated on a bench, cherry blossoms falling around them like confetti. "You did it," she said softly. "Not for the company," he replied. "For you." She looked away. "Then you should know the truth." She pulled out a worn envelope. Inside, a letter from her father, dated 2 years ago. "If I die mysteriously, it's Han Group. Ji-woon's father. They stole everything I built, and tried to erase you too. Go back, reclaim what's yours, even if it means destroying the son of the man who destroyed me." Ji-woon's hands shook. "My father did this." Zuri nodded. "I came to ruin you. I thought you'd be just like him. But then, I saw the boy underneath the monster. And I couldn't do it." He stood up, jaw tight. Tears in his eyes. "Then let me fix what he broke, starting with us." He dropped to one knee, right there under the cherry blossoms. No ring, no speeches, just this. "I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I'm asking for your future." She stared at him, shocked, frozen. Then slowly, she knelt too, and whispered, "Let's build it together." Months later, A photo broke the internet. Zuri Ayana Han, in a red dress, standing beside Korea's former CEO Ice Prince, now her husband and co-chair of the Ayana Han Foundation for Justice. Behind them, a plaque, "From enemies to empire. From pain to partnership, love wins."